Unicorns Talk is a weekly podcast where we discuss the ups and downs of the human experience, from personal growth to romantic relationships and everything in between. This show is for life livers, life lovers, and life enhancers. My name is Latrice Sampson Richards, your life enhancement coach, and together we're going to laugh, love, and learn to maneuver all of life's little messes. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's Latrice Sampson Richards here, and you are tuned in to episode 27 of Unicorns Talk podcast. I am a licensed professional counselor and a certified life purpose and relationship coach for Black women who are ready to heal from their past so we can build a future that we deserve. And of course, y'all know I am super duper excited to be here with y'all today. I have a really good show planned for y'all today. I apologize for last week for not being able to get the episode out to y'all in time. I deeply, deeply apologize for that. I think my laptop is trying to die on me, y'all, and that's not necessarily an excuse. But I'm getting my life together. I really am. But thank y'all so much for tuning in this week. And like I said, I have a really good episode scheduled or planned for y'all today. I had an opportunity to sit down with uh, the dynamic duo over at Black Married Fly podcast and recorded today's Valentine's Day episode. Black Married Fly is one of my favorite podcasts out in the podcastosphere, I guess, or sphere, I guess. And so I'm just really very honored to have an opportunity to be able to interview this couple. You might remember Candace from a couple episodes ago. I did a one-on-one interview with her that was just amazing. And so today I get her and her husband, Troublemaker. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then after that, of course, I have my high five for today, which goes to honestly, the high five is going to Black Panther movie, but it's going to this organized effort that is taking place in order to support the Black Panther movie, and so I'm really excited about that. And then just some announcements and things. Just remember, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or iTunes, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you leave a comment, that you like, you share, all the 9 yards. I wanted to say the whole 9 yards and all that good stuff at the same time, and it just wouldn't come out. So the whole 9 yards and all that good stuff. Just make sure that you let the people know if you enjoyed this program, let the people know that, hey, this girl is doing something over there and I think you should check it out. All right. Okay. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. Troublemaker is the co owner and president of BYNKRadio.com. Troublemaker is the co owner and president of BYNKRadio.com, a website dedicated to putting a spotlight on underground and emerging R&B and hip hop artists. Candace Denea is just your average fly chick, a wife, sister, student, and entrepreneur. She's one half of the Black Married Fly podcast, where she and her husband Treb discuss popular culture and relationships through the prism of a black millennial couple. And like I said before, they are two of my favorite people in the entire world. And I'm not saying I'm going to be their children godmother, but I'm saying I'm at least going to be at the baby shower. Okay. And you'll hear more about that in the interview. So enjoy. So hey y'all.
Hey, how's it going?
I pretty good. I am super duper excited to have y'all on the show today, and to be doing this interview. Candace, it's so good to see you. Like, I'm
I know,
really
it's so
excited
good to
because,
see you again.
listen, last time we talked about the whole friend in my head thing. You know what I'm saying? And now, like we communicate on IG from
I
time
know,
to
we
time.
girls now.
Yes, like we are homies for real, for real. And so, Trev, you're gonna have to meet my husband so y'all could be homies too.
I like that. You guys sounded like when I heard the one that Candace was featured on. You guys sounded like friends already. Probably like halfway through the podcast. So I was like, did they like do a pre-talk or maybe chat on the phone or something ahead of time? You guys were like really clicking.
Sometimes souls just connect and like, hey, I knew you before.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Sometimes souls just connect. And that's girl, listen, girl, y'all got a t-shirt and I got a t-shirt too. I'm gonna use that one, Candace.
The souls connect.
Yes, yes. Sometimes souls just connect. But it really did feel that way, and that was one of the reasons why I really wanted to do these interviews with y'all and why I reached out to y'all in the first place because I am a huge fan of Black Married Fly. It's one of the very first podcasts that I ever listened to. And
Oh wow,
so
thank you. I feel
yeah.
all honored now. I'm just like, wait a minute, the
Yes,
first
you
one's I.
should. You should. Crystal Clear was the first one, and I found you all through Trev's interview with on Clear, and so I was like, okay, let me see. He sounds like he know what he's talking about. He sounds like maybe has a little bit of education or something. So let me go over there and see what's going on with that. And so that's how I discovered y'all's podcast. And now, I listen every week. I even went back and listened to some of the past episodes. But that the connection that you all have to each other, I think is what really drew me in because it does feel very genuine. It does feel very authentic. I know y'all were saying a few minutes ago, y'all were saying, like, before we officially started, that it didn't always start out that way in terms of the podcasting.
No, not at all. When we started podcasting, it was just like, okay, we're about to be couples goals, relationship goals, like all the hashtags that you don't know what happened up until that point. That was going to be us. Super perfect.
Like everything you want to be, we want to be that.
Absolutely. And what was the turning point for y'all? Like, was there a moment where we like sitting here and we recording and maybe we in the middle of a big argument and we like, you know what? It's about to get real, real today.
Yeah, there's a podcast that's never coming out.
I think we
it's
have
like
2 episodes where we had to like stop in the middle, like this shouldn't be released. Like family's gonna be calling like after that. Like so, yeah, like things started to get real, really real. Was it after we moved here? Or no?
No, I feel like somewhere around like episode 10 or 11. Yeah. Like we had a real like come to Jesus, and the original episode 10 is just like locked in the vault. Mm-hmm. So it's like we can't put this out. Yeah, because
that's an argument. Like we just were faking the funk, and neither one of us are comfortable like doing that. Where our relationship's just hunky dory or things are great and all that kind of stuff, and they may not necessarily be for us. And it was a situation where, because I'm a fairly private person, I was like, man, I don't know if we should let people in our business. And she was like, think about all, because like we had other, like I said earlier, other friends who were going through their whatever. And it was like, think about how many people you could help by exposing what's going on in your relationship. Because like, credit to her.
Transparent.
Yeah, she was always like, this is not a place we're going to stay in. We're going to make it out of this. If other people see it, it's going to help other people.
Yeah, absolutely. I really believe in that. A lot of like everything that I do is about sharing our stories and putting those things on display. And in fact, the interview series that I do, here on the podcast, like talking to y'all, it falls under my segment that I call Conversations with a Unicorn.
Right.
And that's all about sharing our stories. And we have to be authentic in sharing those stories. So I'm glad that y'all had that blow up, not like that, but I am, like I'm glad that y'all had that moment because I think everything that has come after that has been gold. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all really give a fresh perspective on the reality of Black marriage. And so, Treb, what is the biggest lesson that your wife has taught you that has helped you not just in your everyday life, but like for real in life?
Probably that just because somebody thinks about something differently doesn't necessarily mean that they're right or wrong. It's just different. That's something that, because of what I do professionally, there's kind of a right and a wrong way to do things. Like I'm an IT consultant. If you do things wrong, it'll like if you think about it wrong, it's going to show up wrong. The way she thinks about life and the way she views life is completely different. Well, not completely, but a lot of the way she views it is just through a different lens because she is a Black woman. Her struggle, her journey is a little bit different than mine. The way she came up is different than me. And I used to be, because I'm somebody that's like almost always about logic all the time. Her teaching me that, slowly but surely, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a slow learner when it comes to Candace.
Ooh, you need them lumps.
Yeah, so just learning that and being able to apply it to like other parts, even with my business partner, even with my coworkers, things like that. Just because somebody's viewpoint is different, if you understand where they're coming from, then you understand the person. And me learning where she's coming from has helped me understand her a lot better.
Absolutely. So, Candace, same question for you. What is it? What is the one thing that you have learned from your husband since he's been your husband that has really kind of made you a better person or helped you in life?
I would definitely say that the saying "patience is a virtue." I never, ever, ever gave a shit about that. I was like, no, we need to do things in an orderly manner, the way they're supposed to be done, and it's usually right now. And because he have to get his lumps and take his time to do everything, I've definitely learned to be a much more patient person. I wouldn't necessarily say more understanding,
Yeah.
but definitely more patient to where I'm just like, okay, I'm going to allow him to learn his own life lessons since he cannot hear it from me, but that translates over. Like, I want to be a teacher eventually. Hopefully, tap on wood 2018.
Yeah,
by the end of this year,
You're
I'll
going
be
to claim that, girl. Claim that.
Right.
No tapping on wood. You're going to claim that. Claim it.
Like I said, if everything goes according to the way it's set up,
yeah,
the classroom 2018. But just knowing, that just because I said it needs to be done right now doesn't always mean something to the next person. It's just kind of helped me say, okay, let's take a moment, let's go breathe. I'm going to go watch a TV show or something, come back and revisit this issue, but still place urgency on it without necessarily like breathing down his throat because I'm working on not nagging him.
You've been pretty good about that.
So I've been trying not to breathe down your throat and exercise some patience, but also let you know that when I asked you to do this because I wanted it done now.
Yeah, so that's something else I had to learn about her. Like Latrice, my whole thing is like, okay, if she gives me a list of things to do, it's not like a physical list, let's say, but she gives me a list of things to do. As long as it gets done, as long as there's check mark by it, like why does it matter? If it needs to be done in a certain priority, you need to tell me that. I need them numbered, and normally it's like, hey, if you get these things done, y'all get them done. I mean, it might be, a couple days later.
And what I have learned is that I do need to get them a physical list with due dates on it.
Yes, yes. I get it, and I love watching this dynamic between y'all. That's just an added layer of awesomeness for me. Because when I'm watching, this is slightly off subject, but if y'all listen to the show, y'all know I do that sometimes. But when I'm listening to y'all's show, and I told you this before, Candace, when I'm listening to y'all's show, I'm like in the room with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like I am participating.
And you're in the room with us today.
And I really am in the room with y'all today. And I am like, and so this interaction looks and feels exactly the way it looks and feels in my head.
That's so dope.
And so anyway, I'll come back to the real subject now, but you're absolutely right, Candace. I do the same thing with my husband. Like I have to give him explicit directions. Like right now, he had to call me. He's called me like 3 times today because I needed him to put some contacts in the mail and send it back to 1-800-CONTACTS. And I had to literally say, do this, call me when you're finished. Do this, call me when you're finished. Now do that. And then call me when you finish that. And we got it done, though. We got it done. It's completed.
Teamwork makes the work.
I like this guy.
I'm just like, that's teamwork.
Yes. I love that. So, talk to me a little bit about like y'all's relationship. So, we talked already about kind of like the work relationship, and we'll come back around to that as well. But I want to know more about your romantic relationship. You know, this is the Valentine's Day episode, and so I think when most people think about Valentine's Day, it's a lovey-dovey kind of holiday. You know what I'm saying? And but the reality is that not everybody's journey is lovey-dovey, and in fact most people's journey is not lovey-dovey at every minute of every day. And so I really enjoy the transparency that you all have about the ups and downs of your relationship. So talk to me a little bit more about what that looks like for you all in reality. What was that journey like to experience it and to grow from it?
You mind if I take this first?
Go ahead.
Okay. Candace Denea is a cold piece. She is a thug at the end of the day. She's not in the hugging or touching or kissing is nice, but only if it leads to banging. Like otherwise, what's the point? Like I'm just being for real. That's the way she is, and that's not who I am at all. I'm a cuddle monster, and I like snuggling and kissing and hugging and touching all that kind of stuff, just for the sake of doing it. You know, just as a way to express that I love her. But she's more of on the things that turn her on to get her going are doing things and like acts of service. That's her primary love language and quality time. And it was something I had to wrap my head around because at first it didn't make sense. It would be like, okay, here's an example. The other day she was talking about rearranging our bedroom, like moving all the furniture into different places. And she was like, when I get home, you
like
know,
literally
day,
flip the whole thing.
Yeah, like
turn it, spin it around and put the window.
Move the dresser, move the chairs, move the bed, like move everything. And she was like, when I get home one of these days this week, we're gonna do that. So I decided because I work from home, I would just do all of it myself. And she was so excited that like what were you were grumpy about something.
I don't know what I was fussing at you about, but I was fussing at you, and I was
then
walking around the house. I didn't go into the room, but I was just walking around fussing, just back and forth, back and forth. I finally decided to go take off my scrubs, and when I walked in, I was like, "Oh, okay." Like whole personality change.
Yeah, now her mood's all magically better, and she's all loving on me and all this other kind of stuff. And for me, like because acts of service, like it's nice, but it's not the thing that like really turns me on. I was just like, all I did was rearrange the room. Like, why does that get her going? Because that's not one of my love languages. You know, but I know for certain, and we've been through this like earlier in our relationship that's what turns her on. So just because that's not what turns me on, because people have a tendency to love in their love language. She cooks for me all the time because that's an act of service, because that's her love language. You know,
and I'll be hungry.
Yeah. Since I gotta eat anyway, I may as well fix you a plate.
Right.
Yeah. So I think like critically, as far as a relationship goes, romance isn't what it looks like to you. It's what it looks like to the person you're trying to impress.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that that's exactly right. You know, I've been teaching a love languages class for like 4 years. And that is the one thing that I stress to people. It's not enough to just know your love language. You have to know the other person's love language as well. Because when you are trying to communicate, when you have something that you need to communicate, you have the responsibility to give it to them in a way that they can receive it. You can't give it to them in your language and expect for them to understand it. You can't go to Japan speaking English and think them people gonna understand you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You have to be willing to speak the other person's language, even when it makes you uncomfortable.
I agree with that. Something else within like the realm of romance is like how we grew up. Like I grew up, my family celebrated like every major holiday. It was a big party. It was a cookout. It was something. He grew up differently. So like when Christmas and the holidays and stuff come around, he like, it's a regular day. I'm like, no, we got to get a tree. I remember the year we got a Christmas tree. The year before we got married, I was like, we have to get a Christmas tree, a real Christmas tree. And I drove him all around town and get a Christmas tree, and he was so grumpy. And then we had to get decorations. And he's just like, we're not done yet. I was like, no, we're not. But once we got to the house and we started setting it up, all of a sudden he's like, oh, this is what grown-ups do on Christmas. This is how we do Christmas. Attitude change. I'm just like, yes. You know, but I think I bring that up to say that sometimes being in the romantic side of the relationship, It's not perfect. Perfect would have been, I like the holidays. My partner likes the holidays. We got into the spirit together. But sometimes it's teaching that other person or showing them a different experience that they may or may not have had that is sometimes special to you or universal to you and how you grew up, and including them in it. Because there's lots of things that, that he grew up on. Like his mom's like super holistic. She looks like she's like 30 years old, even though she's like 60. So I'm just like, just really holistic, gardener, the whole 9 yards. But like the way he grew up, we garden our food. Our vegetables came from the garden. They've introduced me to so many healthier things to eat. And I'm just like, oh, your mom drinks water. I'm gonna drink water too now. I want my skin to be it. But that's something that you take away from your partner. You get to show them something different, and sometimes they pick up on them. Hence my cup of water.
Yes, yes, absolutely. It's so important, I think, to have somebody who helps you to grow. My husband is, I think, the same way. So my husband is, significantly younger than I am, but it doesn't even it doesn't even feel like it because he provides for me in my life, like everything that I was missing. Like he helps me. He really is my yin, the yin to my yang, if you will, because every area that I had deficit, he had proficiency. And so when he came into my life, it really offered a type of balance. And I think that's really what I hear both of you saying is that, you learn from each other, you grow from each other, you lift each other, and you get on each other's nerves some damn times. But that's what this thing is about. Like it's not about everything is all roses and cupids all the time. It's learning each other, it's putting forth the effort, it's making a decision every single day that you're going to make this happen.
It definitely is. The decision to make this happen is probably the hardest decision you wake up in the morning and do. To say, okay, I didn't kill him in his sleep. He didn't kill me in my sleep. We're gonna try this again today.
Yeah. We doing something right.
We're both alive.
Ain't nobody wake up dead today. So it was a good day today.
I don't know what to do with that feedback. Sometimes I'm like, I don't wake up thinking that about Candace Denea. Like I'm happy that I'm in the band with her, not that I didn't kill her. Like damn, like am I getting a D- right now on the marriage report card?
No, I just feel like you know how passionate I am. It's either way up here or way down here. Yeah. So the fact that you still get to live every day, and I still got to live every day, and we didn't die at each other's hands, that's a good way.
So yeah, that's something else that's like different between like us because Candace is like she's at a 1 or she's about a 10 with everything. It's either awesome or it's trash, like with everything. I'm kind of like a 5 with most things. Like I'm real even killed. I'm not up and down the way she is about things. Like it's probably like I'm not as passionate about most things as she
I'm
is.
probably really like borderline bipolar and don't even know it, but
no comment.
Like, passionate is
so much better.
Yes, but I understand that dynamic, and I think most relationships are like that. If you really look into, if people were to actually pay attention to the connections that they have, not just romantic connections, but any type of significant connection that you have, there is always that dynamic. One person tends to be more of the passionate, as we're calling it. Like one person tends to be more an extremist, and the other person tends to be more consistently kind of balanced and things like that. It's the same thing in my relationship, but even look at your friendships, your work partnerships, things like that. You always have that one partner. You got the one partner that's like, yeah, we're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna take the world by storm, and it's gonna be awesome, it's gonna be great. And then the other person is like, yeah, but where the money coming from? What the timeline look like? How we gonna do this? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think we need that though. Like we need people in our lives. A lot of times, we look for people who are exactly like us, but those types of connections don't always last. And I think that's because if you just like me, then who gonna tell us when we tripping? You know what I'm saying? Who gonna tell us when we going too far? Who gonna tell us when we need to push ourselves a little bit more? So if we're exactly alike in every single way, then who's going that where's the checks and balances. And so don't look at, I like that about your relationship. Don't see that as a bad thing. That's an awesome thing.
I'm just kind of smiling to myself because over the holiday my sister was here, and while we were both on our tangents, she was just walking around just dropping these little sidebar comments.
Yeah,
and we're sitting here like, is she checking us?
Yeah.
Let's turn around. She just checked him. Just like, yeah, we need this little birdie around more often.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Like, I haven't been in a relationship with someone that's like me. I know she has, like, or who you used to be.
Oh,
like
you're
that.
just way too late.
And yeah, she
could
could never date herself. And I just know enough about myself that I could never date myself either. Like, if it was just me, somebody like me, we wouldn't get anything done. We'd just be like apathetic about everything. Nobody would be motivating anybody else. If it was her dating herself, she'd be putting holes in the wall. Yeah, police getting called every other day. Stuff like that.
It's like it's way too late. Ain't no one saying, "Hey, let's take a nap sometime."
Absolutely. So, what was it, Candace, that really drew you to your husband? Like, what was it about him that made you say, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a try. I think I want to see where this might go.
Oh, I was telling everybody, here's my husband before we even started dating.
Okay, see how just like you claimed your husband, girl, you got to claim that teaching classroom.
That's right.
No, it's teaching or bust, but I was walking around telling everybody that I was about to marry Robert, and he was just like, "You gonna marry Robert?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You know?" I was like, "No, not yet, but he will."
Yeah, he finna.
I'm like, he about to.
Right. So what was it about him that made you feel like this is my husband, this is the man I'm gonna marry?
I don't know. I just always liked him. Like, I feel like I had a crush on him for years and didn't like want to admit it to myself. But like the initial reason we started talking to each other, like I was looking for some nice, level-headed, even advice.
Oh yeah.
And I called him.
She slid up in my DMs.
I was like, "Hey, what you doing, boy?"
On Facebook. Yeah. She was in a relationship at the time, and she was asking me.
It was actually relationship advice. I was just like, "Now let me know if I'm being crazy." And I asked this because sometimes I am being crazy, and you are always pretty level, even, and you don't know him, and you're not all to my business, so you can give me an unbiased opinion too. And from there, we just started talking and stuff. And I guess somewhere over the years, I was just like, "He's cute. He's tall.
Thank you."
We talk like every day, but I ain't got no crush on him."
Yeah, so I was being real slow about that. Like, I think she was crushing on me before I realized she was, because it was one of those situations. Like, she would call me early in the morning because, I was on East Coast time, you were on Pacific time, and she would call me, and I was just like, man, she only calling me because it's like early in the morning, ain't nobody else up. She just talking to me because she wants somebody to talk to, and maybe I provide decent conversation. I think she feels me. I wasn't thinking that at all.
All the excuses, though.
Right.
In retrospect, it's like, come on.
Right. So it was hard for you to believe that. Why was that? You think why was it that because of who she is, or because of how you saw yourself, or how you thought she saw you? Like, what made you say like not believe that maybe this is what's happening?
I mean, to be honest, like, I'm not somebody who's used to getting things that like I actually want in life. So I don't know. I got a therapist to talk about like all of that kind of stuff. Why? But
yeah, because that's deep. That's deep. When you said it, I went straight. My therapist's mind.
I can see your face change.
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, I know. I saw that too. But it was one of those things where like I would call her, she would call me, and we talked like every couple of weeks at first. And I remember my homeboy, like my best friend, my business partner. I told him one time, I was like, man, I feel like she could really be marriage material if we live closer together, but she probably thinks I'm boring or some shit. And he was like, man, you never know. You know what I'm saying? So it was a situation for me. I was like, there's no way possible that the person I actually like is liking me back. Like the person I really like that, like who's one of my best friends, who could be really feeling me. I'm not going to put myself out there and be looking all crazy and mess up our friendship.
Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, no, she's just being cool. I'm gonna be cool.
So how did you overcome that fear? How did you overcome that thought process to like shoot your shot?
He didn't shoot a shot. I shot my shot.
Oh. Ah.
He's like, what?
So you's a progressive black woman then. Okay then.
I
So
remember,
what happened?
Well, I have been talking to, like, we haven't been talking about, like, what we want to do and where we want to travel, but, like, when we were younger, like, I had, like, more of a career job when all my friends were still, like, in college or, you know, doing their retail world stuff. So I was making money in a way that they weren't, but I never had no one to go nowhere with. Like, it's either I pay for everything or not. But he had already finished his degree that he was working on and was already established. And I was just like, okay, I could probably do something with him. And I had told him, I was like, coming out of a relationship. And I was just like, you know, we should go to Hawaii. And he was just like, okay, who else going?
I said that later. But yeah, we were planning it. And then I was like, you know what? Let me see if this is a trip, like to see what we do on this, or if this is a homies trip.
And see, in my head, I was already planning this as a us trip. I had asked my girls, and they was already playing games. I was like, no, I'm not gonna ask them again. Like, this is happening. I'm going to Hawaii, and I'm going with Robert, and it's just gonna be us.
And like I asked her that, and there was like probably 3 seconds of silence on the phone. I was like, I already know what time it is. This is a couple trip.
Okay. And so for you, Trev, what was it about Candace that made you say, you know, this is wifey material? Like this might be somebody that I could see myself with in the long run.
Bunch of things came to my head. I'm sorry. So the first thing is that like Candace doesn't wait on people to get things done. That's one of the things I really, really like about her. Even though like we're all millennials and stuff, and you know, black women got to do for themselves and things like that. A lot of the time, at least in my experience, some of them, not all of them, some of them, as soon as they can find somebody to lean on, they start leaning on. Candace has always been the kind of person that, okay, I'm gonna get this goal done, and then she just starts the journey. You know what I'm saying? If somebody else comes along to help her, cool, she'll take help. But she's the kind of person who I'm not waiting for somebody else to figure myself out. She was always somebody who was like really full of life. You know, like I kind of like the fire and ice thing about her, where it's like either 10 or 1. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw the way that like the
You remember you said that, okay? just for the record. Remember you said it, not me.
I got it on tape, so y'all good. I got it on tape. Let me know if you need it, girl. I got you.
But and another thing is her willingness, her desire to make things around her better. It's nice to be focused, you know, and be driven, and sometimes that can be a selfish concept. But for her, it always came across as she always, I don't know if this is true or not, babe, but the thing it always felt like was, I can't pour into other people if my cup is empty. That's what always had her going. You know what I'm saying? Like, her wanting to be a teacher, her aptitude, she could be like any kind of scientist she wanted to be. She wants to be a teacher because she wants to help children. You know what I'm saying? And I just admired all of that about her. Like, now there are a bunch of other things, like stuff that came with, you know, that I found out about later. But that's what drew me to her, you know.
Yeah, it's nice to hear those kind of things. You know, I think a lot of times in relationships that it gets lost, you know, especially like after you've been married for a little while and you know, you just start living life basically. And a lot of times those things kind of get lost in the shuffle. And so I always, whenever I'm talking to couples at all about anything, you know, if I ever get an opportunity, I like to just get that information because one, I'm a hopeless romantic, and so it renews my faith in love. But then two, I think it's helpful for your partner to hear these are the things that I love about you. This is how I knew that you were the one. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love that. So what's next for Black Married Fly, Treb, Candace? You know, like what's on the horizon? What is the vision for the business, but then also for the relationship?
And see, here you go, the argument.
Oh, you take this first.
Okay, relationship-wise, like, we're always, not weird. What happens in a relationship is that you have to keep learning. You have to keep trying. You have to keep working. It never stops. It's just what phase are you in? Are you in the us phase? Are you in the family phase? Are you in the building wealth phase? Like, it's just different phases that go into it, and therefore, together you just start pouring into that phase. But each phase you step into, you have to learn to love each other despite of, in spite of, and through it.
Yeah.
So despite me
Now
being
that's a word,
you
girl.
being
That is
mad,
a word. Yes, ma'am.
in spite of what else is going on outside of us, and through whatever we're trying to achieve. So for us, relationship wise, we definitely are in a wealth building phase. So with us getting together a little bit later in life, like we got married in our 30s, and now we're coming up to, we were 30 years old. But we're coming up on our third anniversary. And we weren't a couple that was together since high school. We met each other as adults. We got married as adults. Now we're coming into our mid 30s, and a lot of people, or at least the way our parents did it, they were together in their 20s or
teens,
adult teen years, and started to build things together from that point. We already had stuff in place, so the first couple of years of us was definitely just trying to figure out how to get our two acts into the same barrel and figure out how to make that work. And now we have, the podcast. He has his radio station, and I'm finishing up college and trying to get into a new career. I've been in the same career for over, 10 years. So like all these things are coming with the in spite of. Plus we want to start a family. Like you said on our first podcast of the year, like we want to try to have a baby. So that's something else that's probably going to change the dynamic. But when you work together, like the side hustle is our hustle together, you have issues there that you sometimes have to work in spite of and despite of. There's days that he's mad at me and I'm mad at him, and it's because of the podcast. Not nothing else. Everything else is great until we started talking about which direction we want to go with the podcast. Or, we had a disagreement about this or about that. And unfortunately, when you work together like that, especially with me being the creative, how artists are. Just like we get, pissed off because we don't like the idea, or like, well, fuck it, I don't have to. Stuff like that. We still have to remember that even if this stopped today, we are still in a marriage. So if BlackMarriedFly goes away, what do we have afterwards? So that's the relationship side of it. How do we do all these other things and still be married, and then start a family and build wealth, and make sure the podcast is successful, and make sure the network is successful, and make sure that we're also successful in our personal goals while achieving said relationship goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And what about for BYNK Radio Trip? Like, what's next on the horizon?
A bunch of things. I'm actually looking at, like, I got a whiteboard with the goals on it. We're looking for other podcasts to join our podcasting network. We've got 4 right now. That's one of the things. We want to partner with a blog and work with, young or small incubator Black businesses like yours, for example, to help grow them as we grow also. There are a bunch of goals I can't share just because, like, my business partner, the proprietary inside stuff. But things for BlackMarriedFly, like we want to be keeping guests on a regular basis. People who like yourself who like can contribute to the conversation a little bit different. Like we had a single mom on. We had Crystal Clear and her husband, and he had never done a podcast before. Like,
I listened to that episode. That was a good episode.
Yeah. Like, their take on parenting is hilarious.
Right.
It's just like real.
But like, people in relationships, relationship experts like yourself, people who can contribute to the conversation in a way that when somebody listens to BlackMarriedFly, they get something out of it other than just us as personality. We're looking to expand our merch because we do have a merch page on B1K Radio, so we got shirts now. We're looking to expand that this year, and then hopefully maybe toward the end of the year it's a possibility, maybe do a live show somewhere. But yeah, that's a big undertaking that I want to have set with something like that. So that's like near the bottom of the goal list.
It can happen.
Yes. See, yes. I love the optimism. Well, I'm really, really glad that I got a chance to sit down and talk to y'all. This is definitely one of the things that was on my list of shit to do in 2018. And so I'm glad that now I can check that off because like I said, I listen to y'all all the time. I listen to the podcast all the time.
Thank
And
you.
so it really is an honor just to be able to like sit down and actually have these conversations in real life with y'all. Well, semi
This
real life,
is,
right?
but see,
Like,
this
but
is
we,
real life now. Like, this is how people communicate. This is how we started our relationship, doing
Yeah,
just like we're
we
doing
live long
now.
distance, right?
well, I do too. My husband and my husband is in
Right,
Florida.
right.
I'm in Cuba, and so right now this is how we make this thing happen. But Candace, I did not forget. Remember last time we talked, I made you a promise that at some point in 2018, this was going to
Yes.
happen real life. To face. So I have not forgotten about that. Go ahead and let everybody know where they can reach you all, where they can get in touch with you all, connect with you, buy your stuff, whatever it is. Go ahead and give them your information.
All right. Well, you can find me at Candace Denea. That's CANDACE_DENEA on all of the social media. So if I'm on there, that's the only way you're gonna find me. I use that literally for everything, for Pinterest, for everything except for Facebook. We do have BlackMarriedFly Facebook page now, so you guys can like us and subscribe to us, and you can catch up with what's going on there. Definitely a writer at heart, so I'm probably going to be contributing a lot more to that. This 2018 year, we're still kind of getting the pumps out of it. We just launched it in January. We also are Black Married Fly on Instagram and Twitter. I do Snapchat. He doesn't. Black Married Fly is not on Snapchat yet. And then you can also listen to our podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher,
B1K Radio. You can listen to it there. B1KRadio.com/podcast. You can buy T-shirts. It just has it's a black T-shirt with a logo. We're going to expand into other merch offerings, but you can go to B1KRadio.com/store. For that, you can reach me on Instagram and Twitter at Treblemaka. That's TREBLEMAKA.
Yeah, and if you want to send us emails, we take our emails at blackmarriedfly@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And listen, I went to the website to look at your shirts. Listen, I feel like I'd be lightweight stalking y'all on the cool. But I did go on the website and look at the shirts, but I was in transit, so I didn't get a chance to place my order. But I am definitely going to go ahead and do that today and place my order because, I already told you I love that logo. It is so stinking
Thank you.
She
cute. I
designed it.
love it.
This original
Yeah,
design.
she told. Yes, yes, I love it. So, again, thank y'all so much for coming on over and talking to Liberty on me, and I really appreciate it. I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing Valentine's Day. And I ain't trying to be the baby godchild whenever the baby come, but I need at least to be able to come to the baby shower. You know what I'm saying? I need to make sure my invite is in the mail.
Thank
Okay.
you for having us.
Thank you for having us. It's always such a pleasure to come kick it at the Unicorn Podcast.
All right, y'all.
No
Thank you.
problem.
I hope you all enjoyed that interview as much as I did. Don't you just love Treb and Candace? Like, they are ridiculously cute. I love their openness. I love their honesty. Even like they were even honest about not being honest in the beginning of their podcast. Like I love so many different things about them. I can see the chemistry between them, and it was an honor. It really was to be able to sit down and talk to them. I learned a lot. I feel like we shared a lot, we grew a lot, and they're no longer my friends in my head. They are my friends in real life now, and I'm looking forward to continuing to grow that relationship. So, hey y'all, thank you so much. Again, just thank you. I really appreciate it. All right, coming up next is High Five. Okay, today's high five, of course, goes to Black Panther movie. Black Panther is premiering on this Friday, February 16th. Y'all have no idea how long I have been waiting for this movie. It is a little known fact that Latrice Sampson Richards loves comic book movies. I am definitely a hashtag Team Marvel. I just think that Marvel does a comic hero movie like nobody else. And so when I found out that they were going to be bringing Black Panther to the screen, I was excited about that. Now, listen, I'm not one of those comic book lovers that like knows every word of every issue. I don't even read comic books. That's not my thing. I enjoy comic book movies, okay? Superheroes and things of the such, things of like, okay? That's kind of my thing. And so Black Panther, just when I first saw him, I think it was in one of the Captain America movies when he just, I mean, they just got like the perfect angle on him, and I was like, Hallelujah, glory, thank you, Father, for the Black Panther. I can't wait to see it. So I'm super excited about this movie. Finally, it's coming out on Friday. One of the perks of being here on the military base is that we get to watch certain movies for free. Certain military bases, not all. But because of, we're here, we get to watch the movie for free. But I would pay a gazillion dollars to watch this movie if I had a gazillion. I don't have a gazillion dollars, but you get what I'm saying. I'm excited about it. So today's high five, I've given out several high fives to Black Panther thus far because they just, man, they have gotten this right. I feel like every step of the way, they have really gotten this right. And so today's high five goes not to Marvel, but to the Black Panther fans. There has been a coordinated effort to just kind of show up and show out at this Black Panther premiere. And I mean, across the nation, people are planning to wear their Sunday best African attire. And I am totally here for it, okay? I am here for it for real, for real. And I'm excited, even here on base. I will be wearing my African attire. Like, why not participate? This is a nationwide thing, So I am absolutely going to participate. And I love that this coordinated effort is being made. Like, this is absolutely for the culture, this is by the culture. High five to all of us Marvel fans, in particular Black Panther fans, because we have showed up for this movie in the same way that this movie has shown up for us. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And I know that there's so much craziness going on in the world, and there's so many negative things that we could be focusing our attention on. And the Black Panther movie, I think, absolutely provides us with just a healthy, positive alternative, because I am a firm believer that we have to be cautious of what we allow to penetrate our spirit. And so right now, there's a lot of darkness that's taking place in the world. And I feel like the Black Panther, even though he black, okay, the Black Panther is a bright spot in all of that. And so it is pulling us together and just allowing us to see ourselves as regal, to see ourselves as honorable, to see ourselves as just freaking amazing. And so I'm excited about this. Get your African attire together, please. Make sure that you show up and show out when you go to that premiere. I'm going to be at the midnight premiere. I don't know about y'all, but I am going to be at the midnight premiere, and I will definitely be dressed in my African garb. And you know what? I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to post it on my Instagram. So make sure you follow me on Instagram at Unicorns Talk Pod, or you can follow me directly at Latrice Sampson Richards on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I am going to show out at this premiere on I guess technically it's Friday morning, but it's 12:01, so it'll be Thursday night. So I'm definitely gonna post a picture, post pictures of your African garb. I would love to see it. Man, my wedding was African themed. I bet you didn't know that. Anyway, so high five to us, to the fans of the Black Panther, for showing up, showing out, and loving and supporting this movie the same way that we feel loved and supported by it. And yeah, I can't wait to see the movie and to just revel in all of its awesome sauce. All right. Okay, y'all. That's all I got for y'all today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Treb and Candace Denea for agreeing to sit down with me. I have lots and lots of more interviews that are going to be coming y'all's way. Y'all have shown me that y'all enjoy when I do interviews, and I actually enjoy doing the interviews as well. I enjoy hearing people's stories. And I think it's so important for us to be able to share our stories with each other. And so I have lots going on for the month of March. The Empower Your Vision Masterclass is going to be doing a hard launch. For those of you who did not get an opportunity to get in on round one, don't worry, you are going to get another chance in March, coming up really soon, actually. I'm putting the finishing touches on my book. Like, I have a lot going on right now, but I am grateful for all of it. If you have any questions, if you need any advice, make sure you shoot me an email at astrice@unicornstalkpodcast.com. And yeah, that's it. That's it. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And until next time, be well.